welcome to my channel. My name is Franca and I'm glad you're here. Another day, a different lawsuit. Today we're going over Justin Baldoni's lawsuit against the New York Times and we'll see what he has to say. At 9:46 p.m. on Friday, December 20th, 2024, New York Times reporter Megan Tuhey requested plaintiff's response to an imminent 4,000-word bombshell story concerning their alleged orchestration of a smear campaign targeting Blake Lively, purportedly in response to Lively's disclosure of concerns about the working environment on the set of It Ends With Us, the film. The film's production company, Wayfair, its principals, Baldoni and Heath, what is this, school? What do I mean by principals? Baldoni and Heath and its public relations representative, Nathan and Abel, were asked to provide on-the-record comment and to notify the Times of any inaccuracies by noon the next day, on December 21st, 2024, a mere 14 hours overnight. Plaintiffs' representatives promptly denied Lively's accusations as reported by the New York Times and criticized both Lively and the Times' reliance on cherry-picked and altered communications stripped of necessary context and deliberately spliced to mislead. Despite its claims to have reviewed these along other documents, the Times relied almost entirely on Lively's unverified and self-serving narrative, lifting it nearly verbatim while disregarding an abundance of evidence that contradicted her claims and exposed her true motives. But the Times did not care, given the breadth, learning so many new words in this lawsuit, of the article and the coordinated drop. It is readily apparent that the Times had been quietly working with Lively's team for weeks or months. The Times participated actively in the legal maneuvering at the heart of Lively's strategy. Notably, Lively chose not to file a lawsuit against Baldoni, Wayfair, or any of the plaintiffs, a choice that spared her from the scrutiny of the discovery process, including answering questions under oath and producing her communications. This decision was no accident. First, her administrative complaint is rife with blatant falsehoods and egregious misrepresentations that would have subjected her to dismissal if not sanctions. Second, pursuing formal legal action would have derailed her true objective, an orchestrated campaign to rehabilitate her public image. Instead, Lively filed a request for a right to sue letter with the California Civil Rights Department, a procedural formality that does not require pleadings, remains confidential unless leaked as it was here, and crucially, does not subject the complaint to discovery. While such a letter can precede a lawsuit, it is clear that litigation was never her ultimate goal. Her real intention was to weaponize the appearance of legitimacy conferred by a number of legal documents to launch salacious, headline-grabbing allegations and reshape her public persona at the expense of the plaintiffs. I believe, though, as of right now, I'm a little behind. I should have read this a long time ago. But I believe as of right now, she has actually filed a lawsuit. So I wonder what they have to say about that. I know some people were saying that, now she kind of has to go through with the lawsuit. Lively found willing allies at the New York Times, which uncritically embraced her CRD complaint as fact and disregarded the plaintiff's emphatic objections. Without even waiting for the response deadline of noon on December 21st, 2024, the Times rushed to publish its inflammatory article, "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine," at 10:11 a.m., nearly 2 hours early. This brazen disregard for journalistic integrity and fairness resulted in an article rife with inaccuracies, misrepresentations, and omissions. That's a little strange. Why did they publish it 2 hours early? But I wonder if it's a time difference thing, because New York Times, I assume, is in New York. And then I think Justin Baldoni's from California, so I wonder if it was a time difference for them, or if they 100% just decided, hey, he still hasn't responded yet, we're just going to publish this now anyway. And I wonder if that even has any legal action you can take against them. In an era where public trust in media has reached a historic low and legacy outlets are increasingly criticized as biased and agenda-driven, the Times has chosen to double down on sensationalism and oversimplified narratives, rather than striving for accuracy and balance, substantive reporting, further eroding its credibility and exacerbating the very mistrust it claims to combat. The article's central thesis, encapsulated in a defamatory headline designed to immediately mislead the reader, is that plaintiffs orchestrated a retaliatory public relations campaign against Lively for speaking out about sex harassment, a premise that is categorically false and easily disproven. If the Times truly reviewed the thousands of private communications it claimed to have obtained, its reporters would have seen evidence that it was Lively, not plaintiffs, who engaged in a calculated smear campaign. The complete communications demonstrate beyond question that plaintiffs had no intention of destroying or burying Lively through aggressive tactics. On the contrary, Baldoni consistently expressed his desire to avoid harming Lively and protect the film, but also recognized a legitimate need for public relations protections in light of Lively's false and damaging claims. Okay, and we have our first set of receipts. So this says, from Melissa Nathan to a bunch of people. Good morning. Sharing with you a perfect example of why we don't use bots. I wouldn't even worry to think that they've hired a team as A, nothing to find, B, they hired an awful team, which I've sent to our guy to track and pull, so we have evidence of it. See, she says, so we have evidence of it. So did they know that Lively was going to make a smear campaign against them? Why were they pulling evidence? And where is that evidence that shows that? This below should answer everyone's questions on what a bot team looks like when every single comment suddenly skews in her favor in a nonsensical way. And then there's an article link. And then she finishes it by saying, at least sprinkle them in. She needs to fire her bot team. Justin says, how can we say somehow that we are not doing any of this? It looks like we are trying to take her down. Melissa says it doesn't. They're doing this all themselves and it's really obvious. No, I don't know what that says. But there is a Instagram message there, but I can't really read what it says. I can read the first part. It says Zionist after her because she is friends with Gigi, I think. And then I can't read the rest. And then the other side we have Justin. Okay, please monitor. Things I'm more worried about is that we are planting these stories, which is not true, obviously. And then Jennifer says, chiming in here, the people saying that there are bots and this is a PR play on your side is a minority voice compared to the thousands and thousands who are calling it what it is, and reacting to Blake's own actions in interviews. We never want the action of the minority to dictate what we do on our end. We have to always look at the big picture, which is still enormously on your side. But I do see a want and need from fans to move on. People are now commenting that they are all bored with the many articles still coming out about this drama. When we move on, they do too. So we need to find ways to keep elevating not just the DV reaction, but also the other things in your life like family, being back home, and Wayfair. That's not tone deaf in my opinion, but sends the message that you are focusing on what really matters, and that's what will help with the Blake narrative too. My point of view. Then we have some more text messages. Someone sends a link where Sony chief praises Blake Lively for advancing the conversation around DV. And then someone says, they messaged me 5 minutes before this went up. Then Jamie He says, so glad Blake was praised. Let her get a win. It would be nice to have a Sony executive praise Justin. The article is predicated on Lively's CRD complaint, which references text exchange between Nathan and Abel as purported evidence that Nathan planted a negative story in the Daily Mail titled, Is Blake Lively Set to Be Cancelled? Lively's portrayal is categorically false, misleading, and devoid of factual bias, yet knowingly endorsed by the Times, which claims to have reviewed thousands of pages of text messages and emails. The smear campaign hinges on an August 16th text exchange in which Nathan allegedly shared a video in this article with Abel. The text exchange shows Abel responding, wow, followed by, you really outdid yourself with this one. To which Nathan allegedly replied, that's why you hired me, right? I'm the best. These messages constitute the entirety of the purported evidence underlying the allegation of a smear campaign, orchestrated on behalf of Justin. So then it shows what they excluded. So they excluded 2 messages that were under that really had nothing to do with what was going on. And then in these actual texts, they left out an upside down smiley face. I have personally never used an upside down smiley face in my life, so I have no idea what it means. But apparently it's supposed to convey sarcasm, I guess. But I guess if that's one smiley face can change the entire tone of the text, then I think that is something important to be in there. But even the text after that is Melissa saying, heading to the airport and there's a drive through the jungle, that there's going to be no reception for around 24 hours. Then she says, joke, 45 minutes. Jen says, I'm so sorry. You being offline for 45 minutes was not included in the scope. Unacceptable. And I feel like that shows that they're joking and they're cool with each other. I don't know if that, to me, that those 3 extra texts solidify that they were joking above. But they don't seem to be very serious in their little text chain in this segment. But I don't know. We'll see. The Times, however, was aware that these text messages were unscrupulously. What the heck is that? I definitely pronounced that wrong. altered and selectively edited, enabling both Lively and her team and the Times to propagate a false smear campaign narrative designed to destroy plaintiffs, specifically in the immediate preceding text exchange on August 16th. Nathan forwarded a screenshot of a message from a reporter informing her for the first time of the Daily Mail article. In response, Nathan wrote, "Damn, this is not fair because it's also not me," followed by "Everything now looks like it's me," conclusively refuting her involvement in the creation or decimation of the article. So this is before that text exchange. Melissa sends a screenshot of a message she has with someone else, and the other person goes, "Canceled, the mail is going nuts." Melissa says, "Damn, this is unfair because it's also not me. Everything now looks like it's me. Maybe not to you." And then the other person says, "No, it totally does look like his side." And then she sent that to Jen. And then that is before the conversation that they had. Further evidence of the Times' complicity arises from its apparent endorsement of the criminal alteration of these text messages by Lively. After Nathan forwarded a screenshot of the article link, Abel responded with, "You really outdid yourself with this piece," an upside down emoji, adding an upside down emoji to indicate the sarcastic nature of her message. The upside down emoji is commonly used to convey irony, sarcasm, joking, or a sense of goofiness or silliness. Yeah, but now that makes me think, do you think that Blake gave them every single text message? Or did she only pick the ones that made her look good? You know what I mean? Because she didn't have to give them all over. She didn't have to give them all over per se. So I wonder if she just gave ones that only showed her side, or if the Times picked and chose which ones they wanted from everything. In her CDR complaint, Lively deliberately excluded not only the preceding screenshot of the text exchange disproving Nathan's involvement in the story, but also the upside down emoji, which fundamentally alters the sarcastic tone of Abel's message and misleads the reader into interpreting her response as serious. This omitted context is crucial, as it demonstrates that each subsequent message in the exchange was similarly intended as sarcasm, including Nathan's statement, "That's why you hired me, right? I'm the best." Further review of the text message exchange, also excluded from both Lively's CRD complaint and the Times article, unequivocally shows that Abel and Nathan were engaging in a sarcastic and joking manner, as evident by the use of the haha tap back reaction. When read in full, the exchange reveals Nathan and Abel engaging in fictitious juvenile banter, not conspiring against Lively. The Times relied on Lively's CRD complaint and based solely on the exchange and intentionally duped readers into believing that Baldoni orchestrated a smear campaign, purportedly using Nathan and Abel as his accomplices. Indeed, the Times, like Lively, misrepresented these communications to support its salacious and unfounded smear campaign narrative. This calculated distortion underscores the article's lack of credibility and its reliance on sensationalism over substantive truth. Any negative press about Lively was unequivocally a consequence of her own actions. Even the New York Times itself acknowledged Lively's public missteps in August 17, 2024, article titled, "It Ends With Us, the Press Tour Drama Explained." In it, reporter Shivani Gonzalez observed, Lively's promotion of the movie has included a push for her new hair care line, discussion of the clothes in the movie, and the response to questions about abuse, which have been criticized as shallow and tone-deaf. Baldoni, by contrast, has emphasized the importance of raising awareness of DV and providing resources to those in similar situations. Melissa sends an article to TMZ. Says, reporter says Blake Lively's little bump taunt felt like a bullet. TMZ says, LMAO, we interviewed her too. Let me find. That interview effed her. Melissa said, when lol. Also, what the F? Why am I in this too? The TMZ reporter goes, you're a starlet. F this week. How was the stunt? See, that's what stunt are they talking about? Like a PR stunt? Who knows? Lively's marketing efforts, which included encouraging audience to grab your friends and wear your florals while promoting her hair care and alcohol brands, were widely criticized as insensitive. This was particularly glaring given World Health Organization statistics showing that 55% of DV incidents involve alcohol. Her actions naturally triggered organic public criticism and unleashed a cycle of negative coverage, including, as it is common in the digital age, the resurfacing of old, unflattering content. So we have some more text messages. We have one from Tag team member. We didn't tell Jed to go after the idea that her promo was inappropriate. That happened organically, because people saw the actual movie and were like, wait, this movie is about DV, that they wore florals too. Zoe sent me this on Saturday and goes, this is a crazy way to market this movie. And then they have a TikTok and an Instagram post. And then they say, like, come on, we had nothing to do with that. Far from being the product of a calculated smear campaign by plaintiffs, the backlash against Live was the inevitable fallout of her own tone-deaf messaging and self-promotional tactics, amplified by her inability to read the room in addressing such a serious topic, which I 100% would agree with. As soon as you see the videos of, like, Blake Lively talking in these interviews, you're like, oh my god, this girl is so tone-deaf. Like, why would you say that? So we're gonna end it there for now. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like and comment down below. If you didn't, feel free to leave a hate comment. I'd love to hear your opinion, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.